everyone, I want to talk to you about retouching. And it's something I get a lot of questions from my students from, and they look at these magazines, and I think everyone thinks that, you know, the celebrities and actresses and models look like this. And listen, these are real people. They have real issues with their skin. They've got pimples, they've got discoloration. We've almost gotten to an age where things are so over retouched that you don't even see the pores on people's skin anymore. And I am a really big believer when I, clean up a picture, because there's always going to be a little bit of something, whether it's a pimple or a little bit of darkness under the eye, that you're going to want to get rid of in Photoshop. But I really like to see the skin. Something like this, and I find magazines, especially covers of magazines, which they spend, I don't even know what their budgets are for the covers, but they're pretty hefty. They take pictures of celebs or people, and then they go ahead and really over retouch them. So I want you to be aware of that as makeup artists, especially makeup artists that are starting out, that you're not going to be able to get this kind of a look on every one of your pictures. I remember when I first started out, and when I started out, there was no Photoshop, there was no retouching, there were no computers. We actually had to cover it with makeup, and the makeup that we used back then was much heavier. And if you didn't fix the person's face or anything that was going on the face, then it was in the picture. So it was a matter of you with the makeup and the photographer with the lighting and working together to get rid of whatever it is you had to get on the face. So we didn't even have that option. If you had a lot of money to put into your portfolio and your pictures back then, you could get it retouched, but a lot of the times what they would do is they would retouch it on the negative, and it was very, very expensive. So even though magazines were retouched to a point, it's not the point like it is today. And I would get really confused when I started out, and I grab all these pictures from Vogue magazine and all different kinds of magazines, and try to duplicate these pictures for my testing for my book when I was starting out, and they would look nothing like it. And I would be, I just could never figure out why it never looked the same. I tried all different kinds of foundations, all different kinds of makeup, and then in the end, I realized that a lot of these were just retouched once Photoshop and computers became kind of an everyday kind of thing. So don't be too harsh on yourself in the beginning when you're building your book and your pictures aren't perfect. The skin isn't perfect. Just know that retouching is just part of our culture now, and I don't think it's ever going to go away. I think it's starting to pull back a little bit. I know there's been some controversy on certain ads in certain countries that have had to be taken out of the magazines because they were over retouched, and they were maybe claiming to do something that they don't necessarily do. But actresses and models in their 40s and their 50s had no wrinkles after using a certain product or something like that, which we all know is silly. So I think they're starting to crack down on that a little bit. But I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about retouching and Photoshop, and I think it's a great program for makeup artists to know, because you can actually, it is just an extension of makeup. You can change colors on the face, you can cover things up. Sometimes I'll change an eyeliner to a bright blue, just play around and have fun with it. And that's how Photoshop is in the 21st century.